Hello! This video is our first scene with the enchanted characters. I think it's scene 3. I'll check it in a second with the script. So this is for Maurice, Lumiere, Cogsworth, Babette, Mrs. Potts, Chip, and Beast. It's right after the wolf chase. So let's get to it. There's a lot of movement throughout the stage, so taking really good notes is important. So make sure you establish for yourself right now, as you watch this, wherever you're watching it, a center of your space, and then you're going to want a stage right and a stage left and a downstage and an upstage. So in my space right here, this is stage left and this is stage right. And the audience I'm facing the audience, upstage is behind me. However, I'm going to do things backwards since we're mirroring each other. I hope that does not get confusing. But if you take good notes, it'll all make sense. So I'm on page 16 in the script, okay? The castle interior. So Maurice, when we choreograph the wolf chase, that will give some more clarity about what you do for the stay back, help, someone help me, get back, help, let me in is probably just going to be like during a blackout, I'm assuming, and then I think there's a little bit of music and it goes right into the castle, so it'll probably just be like lights down, you stay on the stage, wolf's leave, Cogsworth and Lumiere enter the stage. So, and also a chair, the beast's chair, the master's chair. So Cogsworth and Lumiere. Cogsworth, you are going to enter from stage right. So for me, that's this side, but since I'm doing it mirrored over here. And Lumiere, you're going to be on stage left. And you guys are going to be splitting center. You're both like evenly on each side of the stage, pretty far upstage and frozen in your whatever position. And funny faces because your bodies are pretty much completely in these crazy outfits, so your faces need to be what's selling a lot of your characters, okay? And remember, we're playing to a small camera. So Maurice, you are going to be, as soon as the lights come up, you're going to be you're either going to be already on stage or coming on from stage right. So you can enter stage right or already on stage. Just depends on the wolf chase and what the lighting will be. But the lights will come up and you're going to position yourself right before the lights come up all the way at the back of the stage, all the way upstage, center. So you're in the middle of Cogsworth and Lumiere and you're going to slowly be walking down the stage towards the audience, looking all around. Hello? Hello? And okay, all of the description of Lumiere and Cogsworth you guys should read because it's important for you guys. So Cogsworth, well, now you've done it. We couldn't let him go for the wolves. Is anyone home? This is all Cogsworth and Lumiere frozen and just like looking at each other, and Maurice just slowly walking down center until eventually Cogsworth and Lumiere are behind you. So you're gonna end up pretty much, I want you to end up, so you're walking slow, I want you to end up in line with the first curtain or where the stage turns into wood, where it's like black and then it turns into the pine. That's where you're gonna stop when on the top of page 17. So Lumiere, when Maurice is saying, I don't mean to intrude, but I've lost my way in the woods and I need a place to stay for the night, you can start to slowly walk forward. Oh, poor fella. Oh, Cogsworth, have a heart. Say that as you're walking straight down the same path that Maurice took straight down. You're on the stage left side of center. So you're walking straight down towards the audience so that you end up pretty much like across from him, 6 feet apart from him. Monsieur, you are welcome here. Maurice, you're looking around. I heard that there's someone here, and I'll thank you to step out where I can see you. So Lumiere, I guess, don't get exactly in line with him until you say hello, and then you're completely on the same level as him. So a little bit behind, and then you step forward. Maurice jumps back. So Cogsworth, during that interaction, so probably when Lumiere says, Monsieur, you're welcome here, you're going to start moving downstage as well. And then Maurice, when you say, ah, you can't actually physically touch Cogsworth because we're social distancing, so this is a bit of theater magic. You're going to like jump back towards stage right, and Cogsworth just has to like feel the effect. So it can be like he jumps back and that startles Cogsworth, so Cogsworth also, as if you were hit by Maurice, but you're not actually hit by Maurice. You step back and then gather yourself and goodbye. And I want you to do some sort of motion to gesture that he should leave towards the stage right. So I guess if I'm mirroring this way, and goodbye. So I guess really you'd be over here, and goodbye. So you're motioning towards stage right, get out of here. So right at this point it's Maurice, Lumiere, Cogsworth, all on the same level, in line where the stage turns to pine, right on that line there.
Behind the green bushes.
So then he goes, wait, you're a clock and you're talking. Just stop and stare at him when you say that. And then whatever motion Cogsworth you did when you said and goodbye, you're going to do that motion again. Astonishing, isn't? And quite inexplicable. And goodbye. And repeat the motion again, but make it even bigger. Lumiere, you're reacting to all of this like, oh, Cogsworth, blah, 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 blah. Oh, how the heart. Like, just everything's over the top because you guys are enchanted things. I apologize for the baby stuff. That is our life right now. So, and quite inexplicable. Goodbye. Cogsworth, I'm surprised at you. Where are your manners? When you say that, take a little step forward and kind of, stepping forward so that Maurice is a little bit behind you, so maybe one step more onto the pine. Cogsworth, I'm surprised you, where are your manners? And then Cogsworth, you're gonna step forward, so now you're in line with Lumiere. So now the setting is Lumiere, Maurice is a little step back, and then Cogsworth, like a triangle. We've got to get him out of here before the master finds out. Now there's enough space, socially distanced, Maurice, for you to do this is incredible, how is this accomplished? You're going to walk behind Cogsworth. So now he's a bit in front of you. So you just go towards stage right and just get kind of behind him, to the side of him, looking at the clock. And you're not gonna actually touch him when you're poking him, but you can just be like, whoa, making big arm motions around the clock. And Cogsworth, really, sir, if you just, ow, stop it, he, I say stop that. So for that little interaction, Maurice, you should be completely behind Cogsworth. Audience won't see you, and just see your arms poking, wow, big arms, but you can kind of kneel down. You're not on the ground, but crouch a little bit. You're behind Cogsworth, so then we can nix having to touch for the tickling of the clock. You're not opening his door. I'm sorry. I said this in other videos, but this is my first with you guys. There's a lot of stage directions in this script. We're gonna have to ignore a good chunk of them because the stage directions aren't accounting for pandemic. So we're not gonna always do what the script says to. So you're gonna have to just be aware of that. Yeah, you're just pantomiming tickling. You're not actually gonna tickle or open the door like the script says. Cogsworth, when you say, really, sir, do you mind? So you're the one who's really selling that you're being tickled. The audience is going to believe anything. It's a pandemic and we're getting to see theater, so anything is great. Trust, the bar's low, and that's great for us to have imagination. So you're the one selling it, and then when you say, really, sir, do you mind? I need you to stomp your foot. Doesn't matter which one. And when you stomp your foot, Maurice, you're going to step out towards the stage right side of the clock of Cogsworth and gather yourself you've just been, you've been punished. So you're going to behave now. So when the foot stomp happens and Maurice steps out to the side, all three of you are now, again, on the same level, but now it's Lumiere, Cogsworth, Maurice. Or I guess if I'm mirroring it, it would be Lumiere, Cogsworth, Maurice. Okay, so moving on to page 18. Well, I'm stumped. It must be some kind of newfangled scientific gadget that can be kind of to the clock / to the audience, because again, we're playing the camera, so we have to do a lot of facing of the audience. I, sir, am not a gadget. If you're not already in center, just based on, you know, the tickling and everything, move yourself to center when you say that line. If you kind of already are in center, just establish yourself. Because when you're being tickled, you might scatter a little bit, Cogsworth. So make sure you're standing firmly in center with Lumiere on stage left of you and Maurice on stage right of you. Like we just said, I, sir, am not a gadget. I beg your pardon, I don't mean rude, it's just I've never seen a talking achoo! So here's a little tiny moment where the audience might think this is funny because of COVID. So make that sneeze really, really big. And Cogsworth, the script says to arch. You can really make this a big moment where you're saying God bless you because it's funny. I want to convince Mrs. Bissell that maybe somehow you have a little hand sanitizer that you squirt. I didn't really think that's possible unless it was inside your little door. But if we could, that would be funny, but probably too gimmicky, so don't get your hopes up. It most likely won't happen. But just know it's kind of in the back of my head on my radar. Okay? So what you're gonna do is, bless you, and like, just like really big. So, you know, just make it really, really big. Then Lumiere, you're chilled to the bone. So during the bless you, the big bless you, you can cross behind everyone and come down to the other side of to Maurice on stage right. So it's over here. So you are over here, and now you're going to come over here. So cross behind everyone to stage right during bless you. You're chilled to the bone. Don't actually touch him. Just be like, oof, you're chilled to the bone, monsieur. Come warm yourself by the fire. And from here on out, most of the action is going to happen on the stage left of center. So from center, I guess from center over to stage left is where things are going to take place now. That's where the fire is. We probably won't have a fireplace, but that is where the throne will be. So you are going to kind of motion, no, Cogsworth, stay in center. No, I forbid it. Lumiere is head of the household. I demand that you stop it right there. Oh, not the master's chair. I'm not seeing this. I'm not seeing this. So all of that, you're staying in center, Cogsworth. And Lumiere, you're going to guide Maurice over to the... I'm mirroring you guys. So you're guiding Maurice over to the chair that's on stage left. And Maurice, you can sit in the chair after I demand that you stop that right there. You sit in the chair. And then Lumiere, you're going to stand on the stage left, pretty close to the curtains side of the chair after you motion for him to sit in it. Your job's easiest since you don't have hands to not touch other people. Might be a little easier for you. So that is where you're going to be. So now it's farthest stage left is Lumiere, the chair with Maurice in it, and then at center, watching from afar, as socially distanced afar as Cogsworth. Then, Babette, you are going to come up the stage right steps. So, the steps over here. So from the alcove on the ground, coming up the steps onto the stage. I said this in another video, we're going to do a lot of those kind of entrances just to limit like interactions backstage, so there's not a lot of traffic back there. So you guys might have a lot of up and downs from the steps and whatnot to get onto the stage. So, Babette, you're going to come up the steps. Ooh la la, what have we have here? Do my eyes deceive me, or this is a man? It's been so long since I've seen a real man. Lumiere, you're staying at the curtains. You give a big reaction. No offense, Lumiere. Bonjour, monsieur. Mind if I sit here? So that whole line, Babette, you're saying you can start it like as soon as you get on the steps. You have time. You're saying it face out to the audience, walking across the stage on the pine, making it big, making it funny. Lumiere, you're not really near Lumiere when he reacts, but you're like, oh, no offense, Lumiere. It's just going to be fun for the audience to like, you know, take in Babette. Then you're not gonna sit on his lap because of COVID. So what you're actually gonna do is you're gonna say, mind if I sit here? You're going to, I wrote in my script Titanic, like the paint me like one of your French girls. Just so, that's the only way I could think of how to explain what you're doing. So you're gonna like lay on the ground, like how people pose for group photos with like your arm propped up. Or you can just like be on the ground with like one arm propping you up. And you're gonna lay in front of the chair on the ground. Mind if I sit here? Down on the ground, and some sort of feathery position. When we have your costume, we'll figure out like how to get down to the ground and what position feels most comfortable and like flattering and appropriate. But something Disney, don't worry, nothing weird. But you're gonna be down on the ground, 6 feet in front of him. So you're probably gonna be close to where the stage color changes from the dark to the pine. Oh, well, hello, Maurice. You're just looking like down at her. Okay, problem solved. You're still at center, Cogsworth, during all of this. So Babette's crossing in front of you, and you're just watching. You're like stunned in your place, 6 feet away from everyone. Again, I'm sorry about the baby stuff. And you're gonna say, all right, this has gone on far enough. I am in charge here, and Mrs. Potts and Chip, you guys have a lot of material. You have a big pot and a cart. You're gonna be pushing. I think that's what the costume is, that you're pushing Chip in a cart, or it's somehow possible that Chip's able to maneuver it himself. But regardless, you only have one hand, so start doing workouts. I don't know which arm's gonna be in the pot. Which arm's the kettle part, okay, moving on. So, Mrs. Potts, coming through, you're gonna enter from stage right, so far away from the chair, and you're gonna enter from the first wing, and Chip will probably be pushed out first, most likely, and you'll be pushing him, not pulling him. You're gonna walk straight over to them. How would you like a nice spot of tea, sir? So, let me explain. There's a lot of movement after she says coming through. So, that's a cue line for a lot of people. When she says coming through, Babette, you're gonna get up, and you are going to move to the right-hand side of the chair. So Maurice is in the chair. Lumiere is closest to the curtains on stage left. The farthest stage left of the chair. So it's Lumiere, chair, Babette. So they're on either side of the chair. And then Cogsworth is still gonna stay in center. So I guess really the only one moving is Mrs. Potts and Babette and Chip. Then baby had to join us. So then Mrs. Potts, you're just gonna come over like towards the chair, but it's probably gonna be more like Cogsworth in center, a little bit of space, Mrs. Potts, Chip, a little bit of space, Babette, chair, Lumiere. So from the center to stage left, that's what the stage setup is like. And so, would you like a spot of tea, sir, to warm you up in no time? Oh, yes. Maurice, you're just like looking straight out at the audience. They'll buy it. You can even be looking at Babette, because now she's standing to your right-hand side, so perhaps she's beautiful, and that's who you're looking at, but you have to not notice that it's a talking teapot right away. So you're like, oh, yes, please. Cogsworth still at center. No tea. He'll be all right. No tea. Oh, sorry. I'm looking at my little diagram that I drew. Babette, when Mrs. Potts kind of gets in place, so Maurice, you won't be looking at Mrs. Potts. My apologies. So scratch that. When Mrs. Potts gets in place, to the other side of the chair, so Lumiere's on one side of the chair, Mrs. Potts on the right-hand side of the chair-ish with Chip. Babette, can you just walk all the way upstage behind Cogsworth, and now you're going to stand like to the right-hand side of center. So you're a little bit to the stage right side of center. So it's Babette, Cogsworth, a little bit of space, Mrs. Potts, Chip, chair with Maurice in it, and then Lumiere. So Babette, you're gonna move probably right before the line, probably like as Maurice is saying, oh yes, please. because Mrs. Potts is probably going to be moving while she says, how would you like a nice spot of tea, sir? It'll warm you up in no time. Cogsworth, no tea, it'll be all right, no tea. That's when you're moving, Babette. You'll end up on the other side of Cogsworth by the end of that line. Great. Maurice, this is just what I need. We'll figure out, Mrs. Potts, how you pour the tea, but I think you might just be leaning into Chip's head. I forget when I was in this how we did it, but there's clever ways, and it'll be so much fun. So you're gonna pour in. There you are. This is just what I need. So, this is just what I need. You're gonna like reach for a small cup, and then there's like a human-sized Chip. Chip can look up. You're not. Pretty much all you have, I think, to move is your head. So you'll look up towards Mama, but mostly looking up is just looking out at the audience. I think I scared him, Mama. That is your cue, Babette, to exit because you need to get a blanket for Maurice in a few lines from now. So I think when he screams, maybe somehow that motivates Babette, like he's scared, he would be comforted with a blanket. I don't know, but that's just the moment that you're gonna leave. And you're gonna exit stage left. So you're walking behind all of this action. You can look at the chair, you're looking at Mrs. Potts, wave goodbye, look at Lumiere. You go get the blanket, and then you come back with the blanket on when Maurice says figures. So you have like two lines to like grab the blanket and make it cute around your arm or something. You could even enter with it like it's a boa or something. I don't know, whatever you can come up with. Babette and understudy to make it fun. That's great. So you're going to exit. I think I scared him, Mama. Hey there, little fella, what's your name? You can like lean towards Chip. Chip says Chip. Figures, Maurice, say that to the audience, okay? And then Babette's gonna enter and is gonna be standing kind of like near Lumiere. Great. So Lumiere, you can kind of move a little bit downstage so that there's room for both of you to be on the stage left side of the chair when Babette enters with the blanket. Care for a blanket, monsieur? Maurice, after you say figures, fall back into the chair so that you're sitting. Babette says, care for a blanket, monsieur, and she's gonna throw the blanket to you. You're not gonna actually touch each other to get the blanket. I just love older men. I want you to say that to the audience because, again, we are playing to a small camera. So they're the ones who need to see the faces, not the characters on stage. So I just love older men. But you are always trying to make me jealous. Well, it's just not going to work this time. Lumiere, when you say that, walk and talk straight down stage. So now you are like totally on the pine, stage left. Everyone else is just kind of like doing their own thing. Cogsworth doing their own thing. Maurice with the blanket. Mrs. Potts pantomime talking to Chip. Don't actually talk, you have a microphone on. And then Babette, me, what about you with Simone? So now you're gonna come downstage and you guys are both gonna be on the pine facing each other, having this conversation 6 feet apart on the pine, stage left of the chair. Jacques, hold on, let me fix my script so I can see what we're doing here. This will do. It's gonna have to do. Michelle, Pierre, Veronique, Lumiere, when you say Veronique, can you remember Veronique? She was a dime. Oh, yes, Veronique. Cogsworth, you are still at center. You are just hanging out there, holding down the fort. Lumiere, listen to me. I want you to do a big stomp before you say Lumiere. So that's the second time in this scene that you've stomped. Maybe that'll be a thing that Cogsworth does. You are going to stomp. Lumiere, listen to me. Now you finally get to walk a little bit, Cogsworth. So you were in center. You're just going to move more downstage center. So now you are also totally on the pine on the same level as Babette and Lumiere, but you're center and they're stage far down, stage left. So you're talking down to them. Lumiere, listen to me. We got to get him out of here. Any idea what the master will do if he finds out of the stranger? And calm yourself, Cogsworth. The master will never have to know. Then there's a loud roar. Everyone needs to do a big body reaction to the roar. Like a gasp and something physical because, again, playing to a small camera. So the bigger, the better. And all are going to move as Lumiere says, as I was saying, he was bound to find out sooner or later. Lumiere, you're going to say that to the audience, walking and talking as you're moving into these new positions. So, new positions, your cue is the loud roar, you gasp, and then move, scurry into your new position. And you have time to get there, so like, you're moving as Lumiere saying his line, you're probably still moving when Chip is saying, should we hide, mama? You're probably going to be in your new spots by the time Lumiere says, no, remain calm. When he says remain calm, he's saying that to you guys, and you're all in your new positions. Okay, new spots. So at center is Cogsworth and Lumiere. So Cogsworth, you really don't move far, but you're just going to be a little bit to the left of center. And Lumiere, you are going to be to the right of center. So you guys are close, but 6 feet apart, and splitting center right on the line where it changes into the pine. And so Lumiere, you can cross in front of Cogsworth to get there to say your line. That's where you guys are. Mrs. Potts, you are going to move upstage, so probably in line with like in between the second and third curtain, and you're going to be on the stage right hand side, so on the Lumiere side of center with Chip. Babette, you're going to be with them 6 feet apart, so it's like Mrs. Potts is farthest on the stage right, with Chip, a little bit of space. Babette, a little bit of space, but downstage, Lumiere and Chip, so there's like a little bit of level there. And then Maurice is still at the chair. But Maurice, you're going to stand up with the blanket and be like, scared, because what the heck is a beast roaring for? And you were just chased by wolves, so like you can act very scared, Maurice. This is a horrible day for you. No, remain calm. There's absolutely no reason to panic. No one believe Lumiere when he says that, and I need to see you all not believe Lumiere when he says that. There is definitely a reason to panic. You work for a beast. Lumiere's right. Cogsworth, you're just convincing yourself. Lumiere's right. There's absolutely no reason to panic. Look to Maurice and say, may I borrow this? You're going to point to the blanket. You're not going to actually grab it. Maurice be like, sure. You're not saying sure, but that's your expression. And you're throwing the blanket to Cogsworth. It's okay if you don't catch it, Cogsworth. You can just pick it up. And then you can put it over your head like the script says. Or just maybe, let's be even more COVID smart. Just hold it out in front of you and like hide behind it. And don't put it over your head. Because that's what we do these days. We don't breathe each other's germs. Beast, you are going to enter the same way Babette did. Thank you for watching up until this point. You are going to come up the stage right steps. So down from the alcove on the ground. You're going to walk up the steps and stomp on those steps like you're entering into your throne room. Boom, boom, boom. There's a stranger down here as you're walking up. Or, there's a stranger here. You don't say down here. Master, allow me to explain. You're staying where you are, Lumiere, the stage right side of center. This gentleman was set upon by wolves. Who let him in? So you're like approaching center as you're saying that, Beast. You're approaching Lumiere and Cogsworth, who are in center. Cogsworth, take a little step downstage, more onto the pine. When you say, Master, may I take the opportunity to say I was against it from the start? Who dared disobey me? Mrs. Potts, to the audience who say, oh dear. Beast, when you say you have all betrayed me, so everyone, that's a cue for you as well. You just need to scatter a little bit more. So you're staying in your spots, but just like spread out and fill the stage a little bit more. So maybe Babette moves a little bit closer to center. Mrs. Potts might move a little bit more downstage. You as well, Babette. Maurice can just like do a big reaction. Maybe you're standing. Actually, Maurice, I think you'd stay sitting just because you're like very scared. And it'll just visually look better if you do that. And Lumiere and Cogsworth, just like give yourself a little bit more distance and move a little bit upstage so that the beast can cross in front of you to go talk to Maurice shortly. So yeah, everyone's just like spreading out a little bit as a reaction to you have all betrayed me. I know that's where it says the beast enters, but because we are doing this without like a big set and for a camera, the Beast, you're already going to be on stage. Who are you? So now you should be in center. Cogsworth, when he says who are you, scurry over and go stand by Lumiere, but 6 feet apart from Lumiere. So now everyone except for Maurice is on the stage right side of center, and just the Beast is in center, and Maurice is far stage left in his chair. So do you see there's like that distance that's been built? That's purposeful because we want it to be like everyone against Maurice. Okay. So Maurice, you're in the chair. Who are you? Maurice. I want you to be like cowering in your chair. Beast, when you say, what are you doing in my castle? Do some sort of big gesture. Oh, and I want you to pick one word in that sentence to really emphasize. This is a really cool sentence in the script, Beast, because any word that you choose to emphasize would make sense. So if you're like, what are you doing in my castle? Oh, what are you doing in my castle? 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 See what I mean? Pick one that you like. Try it out. I picked one that I liked, but then I was like, I'm not the Beast, so it doesn't matter. But pick something to really emphasize. It'll make that line interesting. Do a big physical gesture when you say, what are you doing in my castle? Maurice, I lost my way in the woods. I want you to kneel on the chair. So like grab up your feet and be kneeling on the chair. Or if it's a small seat, then just like put your knee to your chest and be holding yourself. Beast, you're not welcome here. You could maybe, Beast, pick a word in that sentence as well to emphasize. You're not welcome here. You're not welcome here. You are not welcome here. You're not welcome here. It would work again. So do it again. Why not? Make it really, really big. Maurice, I'm sorry. I'll just be on my way. I want you to stand up. As you're saying that, I'm sorry. Stand up. I'll just be on my way. And take a little bit of a step towards center. Maybe there'll be a light change there. I'm not sure what we'll do, but that'd be cool spot for one. But if not, doesn't matter. But you're going to see the Beast. So we need to see you see the Beast after you say, I'll just be on my way. So you see the Beast and you gasp and like freeze in fear. You're not totally close to him in center. You're still kind of near the chair, but you took a few steps away from it. It's hideous, isn't it? No, I wasn't. Now you're going to step back closer to the chair, and you're kind of standing at this point in front of the chair. You've come to stare at the Beast, haven't you? You can, Beast, maybe walk a little bit towards stage left from center, closer towards the chair. Maurice, no, I meant no harm. I was merely looking for a place to stay. You're going to move now so you're where Lumiere originally was. You're on the other side, the stage left side of the chair. So pretty close to the stage left curtains. No, I meant no harm. I was merely looking for a place to stay. Beast, when you say, I'll give you a place to stay, you are going to pounce on the chair. So like the arm of the chair or the back, however the chair is built, and make like a big sound as you grab onto the chair. You're not gonna grab onto Maurice because we're socially distancing. And there you have it, guys. Everyone's reacting big during that scene. The bigger the better. Cool.